What is going on, guys? So this morning I want to highlight a fragrance I ended up getting from Barrett Fragrances. This is called Fields of Valhalla. This is a combination of two fragrances, Creed Aventus and Xerjoff Naxos. Beautiful combination of two fragrances. I personally didn't know if this would work, but looking at the layout for these two fragrances and seeing how they come together, seeing how they sort of complement each other, there's zero clashing happening, but a lot of just smooth merging happening between these two fragrances. It's very impressive. The notes for this fragrance is pineapple, bergamot, birchwood, tobacco, honey, lemon, cinnamon, blackcurrant, as well as vanilla. Upon first application, you're going to get a really juicy and vibrant, bright, and citrusy sort of opening. The pineapple, the bergamot, I believe there may be an apple present as well, the lemon, and what always came off to me like a mandarin orange in Naxos. Even though it's not listed, I don't believe, it always sort of gives me that vibe, like there's a possible mandarin orange. But that juicy opening that I love so much is actually reprised a bit differently in this fragrance. They allow that opening to last a little bit longer. In Naxos, it's very, very quick, very fleeting, and it doesn't stick around that long. That's always been something that I was hung up on, because that was one of the transitions in that fragrance that I truly enjoy. I love that inviting and energetic and sort of vibrant opening as it begins to die down, and it'll transition to that dry down where that tobacco, that honey, and that vanilla and cinnamon shine the most. I always enjoy that opening. With the addition of Aventus in this particular fragrance, it definitely allows that to last longer, gives it a bit more character, gives it a bit more movement. Naxos isn't necessarily a fragrance that has a lot of movement. It does dance a little bit though. It's a fragrance that is able to go from a bright, powdery, sort of loud, almost violet-like citrus opening and then transition into more of a dustier, darker, sultry, a bit more warm, and a bit more of a spicier dry down. With the combination of Aventus, you get that birchwood that comes in and provides a bit more smoke versus spice, and it sort of tones out and not necessarily cancels out each other, but it rounds off a lot of those spices or spicy components in Naxos. In this particular fragrance, you're going to get a lot more of the Naxos, more than you get the Aventus, which I enjoy. The Aventus comes in and kind of plays in the background, as the Naxos is more so in the forefront. But with this, the Aventus is still able to tweak and complement and sort of alter the way the Naxos sort of operates on skin. I also really enjoy the sort of back and forth dance that blackcurrant provides. The blackcurrant, in my honest opinion, is one of the more significant components in the Aventus fragrance. Besides having that obvious pineapple and different variations of it, versus juicy to tangy to fruitier, however they describe it, that blackcurrant having that sort of really fuzzy, musky, opulent, dark, mysterious, almost ammonia-like presence, that has always been a game changer in regards to Aventus by itself, and Aventus in regards to combinations and layers and creating hybrids. That blackcurrant is a vital component to that. In this fragrance, it comes in and it sort of sits right beside the honey and the cinnamon, the tobacco, and the vanilla, and that is just sort of a very special combo of notes and how they all play with one another. It is very, very addictive, very nice. It is a perfect date night fragrance. This fragrance also has the ability to have a little bit of a booziness to it as well. There's nothing in these note layouts that would suggest anything like that, but there's just like this saturation that happens in this fragrance, and it sort of shows itself kind of quickly. For the most part, you're going to get spice, you're going to get some hints of powdery, some hints of woodiness, a lot of a fuzzy musk, and just like this mysterious smolder that happens. The smoke becomes less smoke and a bit more smolder, if that makes sense. With that birch wood, it could be sharp, it could be dry, but it's always had like that really high smoke point kind of smell to it. But in combination with Noxos, you're going to get something that comes off more so smoldering. With the combination of tobacco and the cinnamon, it gives off this rolling spice versus sharp, and cutting notes and accords. Everything sort of comes in rolling, like it's a sort of a snowball effect where the notes start off and they kind of join in together, and it just creates this snowball effect where it becomes this bigger impression, but everything's working together. Everything is sort of intermingled together, and nothing's really sharp. Looking at the price point on the originals for these fragrances individually, if I'm looking to get a 50 ml of anything Aventus related, I'm looking at $800-900 minimum. And then if I'm looking to pick up a bottle of Noxos, I want to say roughly around $257, close to $300, depending on where you find it. And so we're looking at possibly $1,100 to $1,200, just for these two fragrances. And here we have a company that has managed to combine both of those in a much more convenient and cost-effective and sustainable way. This fragrance can be worn by anybody, in my opinion, but this one feels like it's more so suited for the fellas. Fellas, if you're looking to take a young lady out and you want to make a lasting impression and you want to have a unforgettable fragrance on that's going to set you apart, be different from the rest, and get you out and away from that sauvage, this will be the direction to go. I'll drop the link in the description where you guys can check out this website for yourself, browse around and see if anything catches your attention. And that is it for this video, you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys soon. Peace.